I'm Steve Wiggins, and this is the Groundworks Ministries podcast. Today we're reading from the book of Psalms, chapter 3, and let's focus on verses 1 through 8. Lord, how they have increased who trouble me. Many are they who rise up against me. Many are they who say of me, there is no help for him in God. Selah. But you, O Lord, are a shield for me, my glory and the one who lifts up my head. I cried to the Lord with my voice, and he heard me from his holy hill. Selah. I lay down and I slept. I awoke, for the Lord sustained me. I will not be afraid of 10,000s of people who have set themselves against me all around. Arise, O Lord, save me, O my God, for you have struck all my enemies on the cheekbone. You have broken the teeth of the ungodly. Salvation belongs to the Lord. Your blessing is upon your people. Selah. Well, I'm embarrassed to admit it, but I used to own a Chihuahua dog. Anybody want to confess to having owned a Chihuahua? You know, Chihuahuas are dogs that consist of 50% tremble and 50% rage. The typical Chihuahua has a pit bull's soul, but a guinea pig's body. And a few years ago, we noticed that our Chihuahua's breath smelled increasingly horrible. And so we took the dog to the veterinarian. Turns out the dog had severe gum disease, which required the vet to pull every tooth from the dog's mouth. And I used to be hesitant to pet that dog for fear of being bitten, but not anymore. The dog could bristle and growl and bark and even bite, just as it had always done, but it just couldn't do any damage. And this is the picture that the Lord is painting with David's psalm. God has broken the teeth of David's enemies. He took the bite right out of them. And he does exactly the same for us through Jesus. 1 Corinthians 15, verses 55 through 57. O death, where is your sting? O Hades, where is your victory? The sting of death is sin, and the strength of sin is the law. But thanks be to God who gives us the victory through our Lord Jesus, the Messiah. And who are David's enemies? Well, at the time that this psalm was penned, David was being pursued by his own son, Absalom, along with the majority of the nation of Israel, those who had previously pursued David under Saul's reign. So why would a man's own son seek to kill him? Well, the short version is that God was punishing David for killing Uriah the Hittite, whose wife, Bathsheba, David had gotten pregnant. Now, God had told David that people from within his own house would rise up against him. And so, was that it for David? Was there no forgiveness offered to him? David was a broken man, and while he sought the Lord's forgiveness, which he did receive, David did not want to presume that the Lord owed him anything. David knew that he had done wrong. Consider David's words as he fled Jerusalem compared to Psalm chapter 3. 2 Samuel chapter 15, verses 23 through 26. And all the country wept with a loud voice, and all the people crossed over. That is, they were leaving Jerusalem, running for their lives. The king himself also crossed over the brook Kidron, and all the people crossed over toward the way of the wilderness. And there was Zadok also, and all the Levites with him, bearing the ark of the covenant of God. And they set down the ark of God, and Abiathar went up until all the people had finished crossing over from the city. And then the king said to Zadok, carry the ark of God back into the city. If I find favor in the eyes of the Lord, he will bring me back and show me both it and his dwelling place. But if he says thus, I have no delight in you, well, here I am. Let him do to me as seems good to him. So it's important to leave your demands of God behind while you lay your life at the foot of the throne of God's mercy. I'm Steve Wiggins, and this is the Groundworks Ministries podcast. Groundworks Ministries operates entirely through financial donations from faithful people like you. And your giving to Groundworks Ministries transforms lives. Even if it's $10 or $20 a month, we need your donations. Would you consider making a donation to Groundworks Ministries today? Because we do need that monthly support now more than ever. Donating is secure and it's easy at our website, groundworksministries.com. Another way to help is to tell people about Groundworks Ministries. You can share these podcasts with friends and family and on your social media. And of course, you can always direct folks to our website, groundworksministries.com.